I'm very late to my goal setting this year, and I think the standard way is that one is supposed to have their goals all set and ready in the previous year and then embark on those new goals in the following year. And it's currently the 21st of January, and I've only just finalized my goal. But I do want to use this as an opportunity to also publicly put my goals out there as well, and to not just to keep me accountable, but to ensure that I will be doing the things that I say I'll be doing this year. Before I do go on and talk about my new goals, I do want to put it out there that my approach to every new year has always been different. So I would never approach year two the same way I've approached year one. And in most cases, my approaches are very intentional. And if they're not, then it's most likely due to a chain of circumstances or factor that is just completely out of my hand. For example, it could be that in year one, I did not see the results that I wanted, and that has now forced me to adapt, change, or tweak things a little bit and then embark on the old goal or a new goal to get different results. Another example is, in my last video where I was talking about how last year was the first time where I've just felt free. For clarity's sake, I've always been free. I've traveled, I've done new things, I've made new memories, I've met new people, I've networked. The point is, nothing has physically held me down. But for some reason, from the month of April, I've just always felt free, and it is that trigger feeling of being free that to a degree has now influenced, I guess, my approach to this year. Off the back of that, my approach this year is that I feel like I need to start all over again, and by extension, stretch myself as much as possible spiritually, physically, and mentally. I feel like I need to shake myself a little bit. I feel like I need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and put myself in situations and tasks that I wouldn't normally put myself into, just so I can rebuild myself and become stronger. Whenever I set goals, I always make sure I have my goals, which I'm going to talk about shortly. I always make sure that I also have an approach, which I've kind of explained, and most importantly, I always make sure that I have an intention. Now, an intention after my goal setting and my approach is very important, because when things get tough, it is my intentions that then keeps me going. And my intention for the year is to live with purpose, live by priority, and to live for productivity, where this year my purpose is my health. Now, there's nothing wrong with my health. However, I do feel like this is an area of my life where I have given little attention to, and I feel like I need to. It's like when you have a car, at some point you would need to take the car for servicing, to check the engine, the oil, the water, the tires. And I feel like I need to do that with my health this year. I need to basically just check myself again. I need to just get myself checked and to make sure that I am just 10 out of 10 going forward. So not to waste too much time, let's get into the video. Goal number one for me this year is that I am going to be doing a 6-month intermittent fasting, and I am doing this for many reasons, but under the brackets of health. Some of these reasons are: I want to detox myself, I want to break and build new habits, I want to lose weight. I guess I want to basically find like a comfortable weight for me going forward, and I want to push my mind and body to an extreme, and most importantly, I want to be a little bit more disciplined than I've ever been. And I feel like fasting, I know I'm doing 6 months, but I feel like fasting is the best approach to get those wins early in the year. Now, I've already been fasting since the start of the year. I've been doing a 6-hour fast every day, so which is from 6 a.m. to 12, and then after 12 I then break and then get something to eat, which in most cases is just 12 on the dot. And I plan to keep those hours of fasting till the end of the month. For the month of February, I plan to fast from 6 in the morning to 3 p.m, which is 9 hours, and then I plan to keep it that way till the 9th of March, which then ties nicely with Ramadan. Now, I am actually a Christian, I'm not Muslim, but I do have a lot of Muslim friends around me. I do have a lot of Muslim relatives, and to a degree, I do have Muslim blood in me, and that's because my grandmother is a Muslim. But when it comes to Ramadan, I do take it seriously. I've been fasting since 2014, and I'm saying that because in school, I would hear my friends say things like, "Oh, why are you fasting? You're not even Muslim, you're Christian." But then again, these are the same friends that would message me and say, "Hey, it's Ramadan," because I've been doing it for so long. But the point is, Ramadan is a month where I do take seriously, and when it comes to my goal of fasting and Ramadan, nothing much will change in regards to the timetable. So what I would do is, the month of March, I will be fasting and breaking as per the Ramadan timetable. But the only change I will be implementing, which I have been doing, is that I can only pray the way I know how to pray during Ramadan, which is my Christian way of praying. Because at the end of the day, I am not a Muslim. I don't know like Arabic. I mean, I've read like one page of the Quran, but I am not Muslim. So I can only, although it's a holy month, I can only pray the only way I know how to pray. And also the fact that I would be fasting, or I have been fasting from January up to Ramadan, I would be in a different mind state. I would be, I think for me personally, I would be clean. I guess the point is this, I would be closer to God, because I would have gone through like a detox phase for, a month and a bit. And then when it gets to Ramadan, I'd be a lot more closer to God. Post Ramadan, which is from, I think it's the 10th of April this year. So from the 10th of April, for the whole of April, and then to the end of May, I plan to fast from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is 12 hours. And for the last month of my 6-month goal, which is the month of June, I plan to fast from 6 in the morning to 3. So just 9 hours for the last month. And I'm only doing that because I feel like this month is going to be really hot and I've just been fasting for too long. And then I need to just like keep a good balance. I don't want to take it too far. But that's the whole point of this year anyway, is to stretch myself, but not kill myself. So that's pretty much how I plan to execute my 6-month intermittent fasting, with the end goal of, what I said, which is basically to detox, to lose weight, break and find new habits, be disciplined, and most importantly, push myself to an extreme, but not too much. So to me, that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is that I am going to be sticking to or adapting to a 6-month lifestyle change, which is coming from an holistic approach, with the end goal of making sure that I am consistent with my diet and to ensure that I am getting regular exercises. Now, my 6-month lifestyle change consists of 7 protocols, which are protocols that I'm either doing currently and protocols that I've done in the past that I've now decided to just put into one list and stick with for the next 6 months. These lifestyle change will be alongside Ramadan. Now, so I just didn't want to like unconsciously just mix both goals together thinking they're the same, just because I'm working on my health. I kind of want to just separate it. Anyways, protocol number 1 is that I am going to be switching between 2 types of diets, which are between a ketogenic diet and an anti-inflammatory diet. Goal number 2 is that I am going to be drinking 2 liters of water a day as a non-negotiable, but my drinking of water would be outside of my fasting hours. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm not sure if I did, but my fasting would consist of not eating and drinking. So like for the past few days, I've not eaten and drank between my hours of fasting, which is between 6 and 12. Protocol number 3 is that I want to start going to the gym, and I plan to start that from the month of February next month, and I plan to be in the gym twice a week as a non-negotiable. Now, with the gym stuff, I don't have the plan of doing the big boy stuff. I just want to start off easy, start off with my little stretches, and then slowly build myself up going forward. Protocol number 4 is to bring in swimming into my activities. Now, I don't want to go into too much details, but there are loads of benefits with swimming, and I think for me anyways, I've just underestimated, and I want to bring that back into like my day-to-day activities. Now, I am talking like I can swim, but I'm just not the best at swimming. I'm gonna find a video somewhere where I have to admit my swimming is just embarrassing, but still, and I'm bringing that into my activity this year, but I'm going to also use that to just learn as well. My 5th protocol is that I want to clock in 3,000 steps per day. Currently, I don't feel like I'm getting even half of that a day. And that's because with my current lifestyle, I am not really doing much. I don't really go out unless it's a certain time of the year. How I plan to achieve that is by obviously not sitting around and just staying at home. I do plan to, for example, if I wake up in the morning, I'd go for a walk. If it's during the day, I'd go for a walk, and if it's at nighttime or before bedtime, I'd go for a walk. But if I have gym and swimming from next month, that should basically help me get those walks. The point is this: I don't really do much. I don't really go out, and also where I live as well, it's very quiet. There's not much to be doing. If you lived around here, you would think like you lived in a village. My 6th protocol is that I want to be doing 5 minutes of meditation a day. Now, this is a protocol that I have been doing every single day last year and the year before, but there are days where I have missed it. But for the next 6 months, I want to make sure that I stick with it. My 7th and final protocol to help my lifestyle change is that I want to be getting 7 hours of sleep per day. I am aware of a few stats and facts about the correlation between, less sleep and what it does to your day-to-day activities. For me, it hasn't really affected me. I know I go to bed late, I wake up early. That hasn't really affected me. At the same time, I don't want to be naive and wait till it's too late before I start thinking of, getting X amount of sleep a day. I want to start that now, and I want to, start getting a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. The flip side of this is that if I want to get 7 hours of sleep a day going forward, let's say I want to be in bed by 10 and wake up for 5, I need to make sure that from 5 a.m. in the morning till about 9, 10 p.m., those hours needs to be like very productive. I need to make sure that I'm operating at a different level. I need to make sure that I'm prioritizing effectively and getting things done. I don't know who said it, but someone said if you give someone a task to be done within 8 hours, they'll get it done. But if you give them the same task to be done within 4 hours, they'll find their way to get it done. But the point is this: I need to be operating at a different level going forward if I want to get 7 hours of sleep a day. So every year, I always try to do something different, something challenging, something that would improve the quality of my life, or something that would add more to the experiences of my life. For example, when I finished university, one of the first things I did was I did skydiving, and I told no one, apart from the people that I went with, no one knew. But the point is this: I like to just try something different. And this year, I've decided that I'm going to do a 10K run by the end of the year. Now, I do have people around me who are currently doing things like a half marathon, but to me, that's all for the big boys. Me, I'm just trying to just take things small. I don't want to stretch myself, but I don't want to kill myself. And if everything goes well, because I do have an injury which I'm currently working on, so if everything goes well, I plan to complete a 10K run by the end of the year. So to me, that's goal number 3. Goal number 4 is that I want to start reading the Bible. Now, although I said I'm a Christian, which I am just not one of those Christians who knows the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I am one of those Christians who knows 1 or 2 lessons or stories in the Bible, and I'm able to extrapolate lessons from these stories and apply it to my life, and I'm good at that. You tell me Jesus walked on water, I'm telling you I'm gonna do A, B, and C. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have access to Bible lessons and stuff, but I've just never had that. It sounds weird saying this, but I've just never had the appetite for it. And I also did not come from like a background of, I guess, where like reading your Bible was like breakfast, because some people are like that. If anything, hold on. Right, this is what I grew up with when I was like age 5 and 6. Now, I think this is where, me being able to read or know stories about the Bible came from, and I'm just able to apply what I've learned into real life. For example, look at this. This is Jesus calming the storm, right? So imagine giving this to me at age 5. I'm hearing that a man is out there and he calmed the storm. I'm gonna think I'm Superman. I'm gonna think I can do anything. But the point is this: I just know 1 or 2 stories, and I just know how to apply the lessons that I've learned into real life. Not to say that I've never read the Bible. I have. It's a bit embarrassing, but I've intentionally, once in my life, picked up the Bible and read the Bible. I went to a Christian college, and I remember going to the temple looking for a Bible to read. And I remember reading the Bible, and I read the book of Genesis chapter 1, and I came out of that reading thinking, if God was so powerful, why didn't he create the world in 1 day? And then I had like a back and forth dialogue in my head where I kept on saying, if I want to be successful, it's not going to happen in a day. It will take weeks, months, maybe years. And I got that from reading 1 page. And at the time, I thought I'd found the secret to success, and I just never continued. Now that I think about it, if I got that from just reading 1 page, I am doing myself a disservice by not continuing. And I think that's another reason why I want to embark on reading the Bible. And also, there's just something about it this year that I feel like I need to start reading the Bible, and I don't want to question it. I just want to just take action and just embark on it. My approach to reading the Bible this year is very simple. 1, it's not a race, it's not a marathon. No one's chasing me to read the Bible, no one's forcing me to read the Bible. So in saying that, I want to read 1 book. So I've chosen the book of Genesis, and I plan to read that for the whole year. Now, if for example I do complete the book of Genesis and I understand it and I feel like I can move on to the next book, which is the book of Exodus, then I will proceed. But This year is about reading the book of Genesis, studying that book, speaking to shepherds and pastors, asking questions, because as I said, I'm not one of those like typical people. I'm gonna ask questions, I'm gonna query things. I also want reading the Bible to be a part of like a journey rather than just reading for pleasure. But yes, that's goal number 4 for me, which is I want to read the Bible, and I'm going to be starting with the book of Genesis this year. I'm going to study it, meditate on it, read it, question things, speak to people who are a little bit more like advanced in terms of like the Bible stuff, and like I look forward to that journey. Now, my fifth and final goal is my passion project, and a passion project for me is basically doing things that piques your interest. For me, a passion project is basically building, getting involved, or doing something that is not in your line of work or studies. It also has to be something that you don't know how to go about it, but you will find a way, and by extension, you are going to become better along that journey. And lastly, it has to be something that you can see yourself doing. And I've been getting involved in passion projects from a very young age. When I was 15, for example, I designed my first clothing t-shirts. And I remember going into like the printing shop, and I was talking to the lady, and I was telling her how I want the logo to be, where I want it to be placed, where I want it to be a certain design. I just like to learn different things and different skills. For example, I have a saying which goes, you can't learn everything, but try to learn as much as possible. As long as it's all in the world of development and growth, I'm all for it. But whatever I do, and I've done other things like photography, marketing, um, photo editing, video editing. I've done so many cool things that I don't really talk about, but I just do it because I just have a genuine interest in it. And in most cases, some of these projects will last for a day, weeks, maybe a month, but there were skills and lessons that I've gained from these experiences that I would not have gained from anywhere else. Whatever it is I do, it is to enhance me as a person or the character that I've become along that journey. So my passion project this year is my YouTube channel. Now, like I said in my last video, YouTube has always been something that I've always wanted to do, but let's call it spade a spade. I took no action. So this year, I want to build my YouTube channel. Most importantly, I do want to have fun with it. So I'm not really currently into the idea of like pushing for subscribers. But if you subscribe, I will appreciate it, because then it's indicating to me that you want to support my growth, you like my interest, or you like my channel, or you like what I'm putting out there, or you just want to encourage me, I would say. But for now, I just want to like get better at speaking behind cameras, because this is something that has nothing to do with my line of anything, and it's just something that I think it's interesting. It's something that I feel like I can learn from, and I'm sure there are skills that I can also gain. And to summarize, those are all my 5 goals for the year. So I'm currently not the best at like ending any videos at the moment, but to anyone watching, just want to say thank you very much. And if you can kindly subscribe to me, it would mean a lot. It would indicate to me that you engage with my content. It would actually tell me that you got through to the end as well, and it would encourage me to keep going. So again, thank you very much, and I wish you guys also winning on your goals as well. Adios.